Well, everyone, welcome back to another build series, and here we go. We are going to tackle the Romulan Warbird Dideradix class. Now, this is something I have never done before, and it is a good change. Even though we're still doing Star Trek stuff, it is a diversion from the Federation, which we've done some Enterprises recently, and a refit of the Ambassador class, or a reimagining of that didn't go as well as I had hoped, but I did learn a lot. So now we are going to do this awesome big green machine Warbird. So let's dive right in and we will take a look. So we're going to flip it upside down and we're going to look at the specs of this thing. We see here it has 20 parts. It says precision, fit, and detail. Romulan crest and window decals. Includes dome base with metal support rod, and some more information about the Warbird, saying the intimidating and swift Romulan Dideradix class Warbird was the backbone of the Romulan Star Empire's fleet through the 24th century. Powered by a forced quantum singularity, they could reach speeds of warp 9.8. Every Warbird was equipped with a cloaking device, disruptor array, torpedo launcher, and additional weapon arrays. Okay, skill level 2, some other stuff. Let's look at the side of the box here. So the Federation wishes to avoid war at all costs, so I will offer them a diplomatic solution. Get them to lower their shields and destroy them. That looks like Lieutenant Commander Deanna Troi disguises Major Rakal. Ah, yeah, when she was part of the Tal Shiar. That was a pretty cool episode. Good Troi episode. All right, let's see. It's 12 3/4 inches long, so it's a pretty small model, about probably I would say as wide as this box here, and that's pretty much it. All right, let's take a look. Now, I can tell you right now that I think the biggest impact that this ship is going to have is going to be the paint. As you can see here, it is a really cool variant of numerous greens, nice green glow, yellows, stuff like that. A nice bright white light here at the front. So I think that's going to be the trick, is getting a nice mix of greens, maybe some Aztec patterns. Now, I did look online. There are no Aztec decals or any aftermarket parts for this kit, so we are on our own. And it's a good thing. I do have a collection of greens that I will be bringing out at the conclusion of this unboxing. And we'll take a look and see what we have and what we might need to get. Okay, all right. Really excited to do this. Now, this kit, everyone, was a birthday present from my lovely wife, who got this for me when we were in Los Angeles, and I saw it. I was like, I have to have the Romulan. It'll be a good addition to the wall over there. Okay, got a few bags here. There's a nice big round wingspan. Looks like War of the Worlds here, kind of, to me. I wonder if that's where they got their inspiration from. So we got some top and bottom there. We got some clear parts here. Looks like impulse engines, maybe some chiller grills for their warp engines, and some other various parts there. We've got a small stand. Look at this. Really small, and it is not hollow. Is it? Is it hollow? No, it is not hollow. So this is not, when they designed this, they didn't intend it to be lit. Here's another piece of the ship. Wow, so a lot of pieces. So like these have 2 pieces in here. We'll open those soon. So total of 3 bags. Warp engines, probably a tail fin there. Here's the head, or the neck and the head of the Warbird. Really menacing looking ship. Very small decal set here. Let's open this up and see what it looks like. Right. Got our standard little wax paper thing. Again, I hold on to these because we use these to lay the decals down and spray them with water. And very intricate decals. Look at these. They're all white. Looks like windows. Okay, so we're not going to be using all those because we're going to light this guy. And we're not going to light every single window. Now, that's one thing I noticed on the box art that on this ship, every window is lit. Every single one of them. I don't know if that's like a Romulan thing. And I seem to remember that being from the show. Like, every window was lit up. I think they did that just to make it look cooler. We will not be doing that, obviously. I made that mistake with the Enterprise E, which I'm going to do again. I made the Enterprise E a long, long time ago. I've never done the video on it. I do have another kit, and the mistake I made was I lit every window to make it look cool. I thought it would be neat, but no, it doesn't look very realistic to have every single light on. You're going to have crew members who are asleep, off duty, or on duty, and just not in their quarters, so why would every single light be on? Okay. Very simple instruction set. Assembly instructions is probably standard stuff here, decals and paint. It's probably going to tell us that it is intended to be built in sub-assemblies. Yep, there it is. And it's just one page, 20 parts. So we're going to start with the warp nacelles. Let me get the box out of the way for you. So yeah, we're going to start with the warp nacelles here, and then pretty much the rest of the ship comes together and then put on the stand. Okay, very, very simple, which is nice, at least as far as the assembly is concerned. And let's open up these sprues. We've got 3 bags. Always checking for loose parts. And again, I don't throw the bags away immediately. I have made that mistake before. Won't make it again. And take a look at what we've got. Okay, here are the clear parts. Now that I have them out of the bag, we've got some really nice etching decals, or not decals, details rather, on this part. I don't know what this is for. It's maybe the chiller grill for the warp engines, looks like. Impulse engines maybe. And they're etched. There's some texture to these things. So that's really nice. Okay, we're going to put that away in the box. And let's shed some more light on the situation here. And we'll take a look at these individual pieces. Okay. From first glance here, we've got nice thick plastic. There does seem to be quite a bit of flash on here, right here along the edges. So we're going to have to peel that or shave that off with the X-Acto knife. It's quite a bit actually. And it's not really thin flash either. So we're going to have to be very careful with how much we trim off of that and make sure we stay to the contour that the ship has. There is some wing detail here, you know, like the feathers like we would see on a bird of prey. This is a warbird, of course, but there are feathering effects there. Some lifeboats, it seems, here along the spine, and various little weeblies, or I think that's what they're called, weeblies. Little sci-fi additions to a kit. Here's an underside here. So this looks like it's probably the underside of this one here, like that. And the same here for these 2 pieces there. Something like this, yeah. Okay, pretty good detail. Well, it's good detail, nice texturing here. If you could pick that up. Some real neat, intricate designs there. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but it's rough. Some more feathering effects here, more science fiction-y type parts to the ship. Some grills. This is rigid right there. That's going to be pretty cool to paint. Hopefully maybe we can like kind of a dry brush effect on that, make that a silver or a gunmetal above the gray. Just thinking out loud here. And then of course the head of the ship. Now here's it really looks like a warbird, a bird of prey, an eagle or a hawk or a buzzard or something with a sharp beak down here, real menacing looking, and very cool stuff there. Looks like eyes. Really neat. Warp engines, pretty simple and basic. Yeah, so here are the chiller grills. So those were those clear pieces that we took a look at before. That's what these are. They're going to go in like that. So I'll have to put some white on there, some like white primer to diffuse that. And that's that. Okay. Well, that is a simple unboxing, everyone. I mean, this is it. Just 3 sprue trees. I'm sorry, not 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so 5 sprue trees. That's it. But these 3 here, or 4, are just these pieces. So we're going to have to take that off. Again, quite a bit of flash here. These connections here that we're going to have to cut off are very solid. These aren't loose pieces, so I can't just, bend them off. We're going to have to use the cutting disc probably with a Dremel to get a nice even cut and give them a nice sanding. And let's check how thick this plastic is. So I'll turn off the light. We're going to see how much we're going to have to light block this thing. If the light would work. Yeah, pretty thin, so we're going to have to light block that as usual, probably. Turn the light back on. All right, okay, I'm going to put these things away here, and we will go and check out our paint. So I'm going to bring out all the greens that I have, and we'll take a look at that. So I'll be right back. Okay, all right, so here are all the greens that we have. Let's zoom in a little bit so that we can show you what these are. So I've kind of arranged them from darkest to lightest, and then these 2 light ones over here. So I'm going to start here. This isn't really a green, but this is a gunmetal gray. There is a little bit of a green tinge to this, and we're going to probably use this as a seam line base to get all of the lines here. So we'll probably put them along the sides here, around this area here, and probably along the feathers. And that's just to add some undercoat detail. And that will be the first coat probably after the primer's put on. So we're going to put like all the seam lines there. And this is a technique that is used a lot on fighter jets and stuff, military jets, is wherever connections are, seam lines, or wherever you want to see a little shadow, you put an undercoat of a dark color, usually like a black. But on this one, we'll use like a gunmetal. And again, we'll probably put that all along these nice lines here and get this really cool, intricate paint job. So this kit, everyone, is going to be the flash, or the awesomeness of this, at least, or the highlight. That's a better word. Highlight is probably going to be the paint job. So I'm going to really try to use as many different colors of this as I can and get some really cool detail. So that'll be the undercoat. And then we've got some dark green XF70, olive green XF58, NATO green XF67. These are very close to each other. And then we're getting more into deep green here, which is XF26, a flat green XF5, which I probably need more of this. This is the color primarily that I use for the Klingon bird of prey. And then park green. This is a nice bright grassy green, light green here, maybe for a few highlights to do some contrast. So we'll have some dark areas and then just a few light areas. We're going to go very minimal probably with that. And then here is the cockpit green UN XF71. Now, my experience with this, everyone, this paint actually comes out a lot darker than this cap. So I'm going to open it up if I can. And we'll take a look here. So if you look in there, there's the color of the paint, and here's the cap. You can see that this is a much darker color than you would think based on the cap. So this is going to be pretty good use on this one. I've got about a half of this big bottle here, and that should be sufficient for this kit. Not going to use too much of any one of these. So let's tilt these up so I don't ruin anything. And I'm going to use this time as a great opportunity to talk about one of the coolest tools I have discovered yet. So let's zoom out. And that is here, this Mr. Cap Opener. I don't know, it's called Mr. Hobby. This Mr. Hobby is this company that they're relatively new, I think. I mean, I haven't been around. They're a Japanese company, it looks like, obviously. But they make some really good paints and some really cool tools. They make really good cement. I've got some different cement from them. It's called, Mr. Cement. right here. I haven't used it yet, but they're really good products. A lot of the products from Japan are just awesome, just so good. Tamiya is no exception. I think they are a Japanese company. Bandai, of course, makes great kits, and you know, you just can't get better quality than the beautiful country of Japan. But anyway, this product here is called Mr. Cap Opener, and I found this in a little shop called Hobby One Japan in Las Vegas, in Henderson, Nevada, where my mother lives. And it's a really neat store. They sell a lot of Gundam stuff, or Gunpla, I think that's how you pronounce it, and some Star Wars a lot of Bandai things. And they have a great selection of paints and supplies. So this Mr. Cap Opener is this guy right here. And it's like a little wrench. It's got these ridges here, 2 different sizes, and it comes with this little nifty rubber container. And this thing is the best tool I have found to open up these smaller Tamiya paint containers. Now, Mr. Hobby does make their own paints, but they have modeled their paints to be the exact same size of these Tamiya bottles. And it doesn't fit these big ones, these larger Tamiya paint bottles, but these standard ones they do. So what you do is you put the paint in this little rubber thing so you can grip it, and then you just take the Mr. Cap Opener wrench and you grip it and you just open it up like this. And it is that simple. I have opened these things with pliers. I've had, these things dry up. You haven't used them in a while. And, use a giant pair of pliers to try and pry it open, and you're worried about breaking the glass because you're squeezing it. This thing, it goes right into these nice ridges that are on the caps right here. You can see that, if you're familiar with these paint cans, you'll know that. But you just put that on and it just comes right off. No pressure at all. And little tool, very inexpensive, but my goodness, when I started using this thing, I just fell in love with it. So I've been waiting for an opportunity to show this off to everyone. It's a really neat tool. If you can get one, you will not be disappointed. It makes opening these cans just a breeze, and you don't have to worry about breaking your bottles or anything. So I've kept onto this thing here for probably about 3 months until I've had a chance to talk about it. So here we are. Okay. Well, that's it. So these are all the greens that we're going to have. We're probably going to be using some warm LED stripping for this. I'm not going to use a nav board. I don't need any blinking lights on this ship. I'm just going to go straight static, and we're going to use the warm white LED strips. I think that would be more fitting for the nice greens and yellow motif that we have with the Romulan ship. It's going to be kind of a yellowish, a greenish, kind of spooky looking design here. And again, the trick is going to be getting these panels painted really well. And going to look and do some research here on the lighting. I think most of the lighting happens in the head of the ship. Let me see if I can put a screenshot up there right now. And there you can see there's quite a bit of lighting opportunities there. Looks like we're going to have to do a lot of drilling and getting that settled out. So we'll see. I'll figure out a plan of attack on that, put some thought into it. I'm not going to commit to anything on this video, but there it is. So that's the unboxing of the Romulan, the Derridex class Warbird from the TNG era. This should be a nice design. Okay. All right, everyone. Well, that's it. And let's take a look at the time here. So we're at 22 minutes. I think that's a good little opener for that. And we will get right on this kit and start painting it. And we'll be back with another video really soon and see how we're progressing on this. So we'll see you guys down the road. Take care.